When asked about Hassan Piker's comments on 9/11, Senator Bernie Sanders called it a dumb statement. Do you agree? Do you disavow those comments that America deserved 9/11?
Oh, Bassem, I thought they might not ask about Hassan Piker's comments, but luckily she asked 2 or 3 times. Let me show you the whole clip and then get your reaction. Watch this.
You face scrutiny for campaigning with socialist streamer Hassan Piker, who has made a series of inflammatory comments, as you well know, including saying America deserved 9/11, describing Hamas as a lesser evil than Israel. Do you plan to continue to campaign with Hassan Piker in the general election campaign?
Look, I'm less concerned now with who I'm campaigning with, a lot more concerned about who I'm campaigning to. We got a lot of work to do to continue to build the coalition that's going to beat Mike Rogers.
Would you welcome him, though? On the campaign trail with you?
Like I said, I'm a lot more focused on who I'm campaigning to.
When asked about Hassan Piker's comments on 9/11, Senator Bernie Sanders called it a dumb statement. Do you agree? Do you disavow those comments that America deserved 9/11?
Of course it was a dumb statement. And of course, I think Hassan himself would say that was a dumb statement. He disavowed it. So yes, America didn't deserve 9/11. But to sit here and play gotcha politics with a dumb thing somebody said out of context that they disavowed themselves to say, oh, well, what does that mean about what you think? I want to be held accountable for what I say and what I do.
So Bassem, apparently Hassan Piker is the most relevant political person in the country. Everyone has to be. Do you denounce him, Bassem?
Oh, yeah, of course I denounce it. I would love the media to also ask everybody running in any campaign about everybody who they have been associated with, because that will open a can of worms, right? I mean, let's talk about like Cory Booker, like the guy is buddies with Rabbi Shmuley, and I'm sure that we can take so many things that Rabbi Shmuley said that's so anti-American and just like straight up like racist and horrible. Why don't they ask that, right? I mean, why don't they ask the people who run the campaign who kind of like they go hand in hand next to most of the most horrible pro-Israeli propagandists, and nobody is asking them about like, what do you think about your friend who's saying this for Israel? Nobody's saying that. But when it's like a Muslim or an anti-Israeli candidate, suddenly everybody in his circle is like, we need him to answer for them, which is quite stupid, right? Which is, I welcome if they do that on the other side, but they never do, right?
Yeah, in fact, this morning on Piers Morgan, I asked, why doesn't anybody ask Mike Rogers, Abdul El-Sayed's opponent, do you denounce Benjamin Netanyahu? Because Mike Rogers is taking, not just campaigning with the Israeli lobby, he's taking money from them, hundreds of thousands of dollars, soon to be millions and tens of millions. So, and Hassan.
At least Hassan Piker didn't pay Abdul El-Sayed millions of dollars. I mean, if he did, so if he did, I would like to call Hassan because he's my friend and I have him on my phone, and I would like him, oh, don't you give me a couple million, brother.
So Hassan said something that was wrong, and then he immediately took it back like a day or two later, and that was about 8 years ago or so. Netanyahu killed 23,000 children. Picture this, it's 1 a.m., you tell yourself just one more scroll through social media, and suddenly you're spiraling over the latest political dumpster fire. That spiral doesn't just exhaust your mind, it actually spikes your internal body temperature. And when your body stays hot, you can never hit that deep restorative sleep. So the fix, it's not a meditation app, it's your bed temperature. Enter ChiliPad 2.0. It's a water-based mattress topper that gives you total climate control from 55 to 115 degrees. No new mattress, no hassle. It fits right on top, and water is the game changer. A fan just stirs hot air around. ChiliPad uses actively chilled water to pull heat away from your body like a heat exchanger. The new 2.0 has a quieter dock, a washable cover, and a remote that senses when you climb in and fires up your sleep schedule automatically. Sharing the bed? Dual zones let each side pick their own temperature. No subscription, no hidden fees, 2-year warranty, made right here in the USA. Visit www.sleep.me/TYT to get up to $255 off your ChiliPad 2.0 with code TYT. That's www.sleep, sleep.me/TYT. Free shipping, free returns, and a 30-night trial. The headlines will still be there in the morning. You might as well wake up ready for them. By the way, Kamala Harris never got asked to denounce Dick Cheney, who got hundreds of thousands of people killed and brought torture back. Hillary Clinton never got asked to denounce Henry Kissinger, who got arguably millions of people killed. So as long as you're getting millions of people killed or torturing people or killing children, our media is totally fine with it. No problem. You don't have to renounce anyone. A streamer said something wrong. At one point out of tens of thousands of hours of talking, well, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. And I don't know if Kirsten Welker and the rest of the Meet the Press crew realize how ridiculously biased they are, and how they seem like they're doing a hatchet job on every outsider candidate, and how much they love insiders. But maybe they just don't realize that almost everything they say is a lie. Here, I'm gonna give you an example outside of Israel. Watch this interaction on Medicare for All.
You served as a public health official in Michigan. You even co-authored a book making the case for Medicare for all. Senator Bernie Sanders also campaigned on it as a presidential candidate back in 2016. 10 years later, this idea still does not have a majority support in Congress. If you were to win in November, Dr. El-Sayed, how do you make Medicare for all a reality when so far it has not had enough support?
We're watching more people support Medicare for all every day. We're watching more elected officials support Medicare for all every day. And in a lot of ways, this campaign was a referendum on whether or not we want health care here or bomb somewhere else. And I think the Michigan voter chose health care here.
Do you see that deceitful trick that Welker did, where she made it sound like Medicare for all is unpopular, but if you listen carefully, she said a majority of people in Congress. Don't agree. Now, she knows there's a poll, unless she's ignorant, which is entirely possible, that there's a poll that shows that 65% of Americans want Medicare for all. But that's 2/3 of Americans saying we want this. But when you turn on television, they go, it's unpopular. And are you still in favor of it 10 years later? How dare you support 2/3 of Americans? What a radical position. So, I mean, is there anything that television doesn't lie about?
They did this with Mamdani. Remember when Mamdani was running and all of these promises about like freezing the rent, like having public transportation? It couldn't be done. How are we gonna get the money? And now he's actually doing really good progress. So the thing is, you either are corrupt and nobody's gonna ask you about all your corruption, or you're gonna do something like, that is beneficial for the public, and then they're gonna just like poke hole into it. It's like, it's either not gonna be done, it's not popular, it's not feasible, and then so basically they don't care about the people. The media has proven many times, time and time again, they don't care about the people, and all of these are just like gotcha questions. Because I would really want to see the same woman debate the other candidate. And or actually, did this woman did she have the other candidate on her show? I would love to see that interview.
Yeah,
because that would be interesting.
Yeah, as far as I know, Mike Rogers has not gone on.
No, not Mike. The other, the Haley, the one that was running against.
No, they all hide, they barely do any interviews, but. But it doesn't matter. Anytime that she was asked questions, they were all super softball questions. You know that. Like, they never ever touch the insiders. The insiders, that they view them as demigods. And so, and look, Welker, by the way, in the rest of that interview, basically said to Abdul El-Sayed exactly what you predicted there, Bassem. She was like, how are you gonna pay for that? That's really, why don't you admit you're gonna raise taxes? Aren't you gonna raise taxes, right? But wait a minute, how come Welker never did that with the Iran war? How come she never did that with money going to Israel? Like the same exact situation, wait, we're spending a lot of money. At least in one case we get healthcare, in other cases we get war, death, and destruction, and nothing for us. But Welker just can't find a way to ask how we're gonna pay for that. No Meet the Press host has ever asked about war. How are we going to pay for that? Because they love war and they're lying about being objective, and they just want to lie to you 24/7 so you don't accidentally vote for the person who's actually going to help you. They would hate that idea. If you vote for a person who's actually means it and has popular positions, Kirsten Welker and the rest of the cable news anchors and the network anchors would be so upset that you didn't vote for the corrupt insiders that they love and adore and never ask tough questions to. But it's not just the press that's against Abdul. Of course, establishment Democrats are and Trump is. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.